Hello there, welcome to African Information Network. I am Dr. Michael Umunna, and this is Focal Point Africa. The last time we were together, we discussed the very sizzling topic, irreconcilable differences, divorce amongst first-generation Africans in America. And I promised you that the second segment of that series was going to be talking about irreconcilable differences, divorce amongst first-generation Africans in America, issues that must be reconciled. So that begs the question. We saw in our definition or conceptualization of divorce that divorce is the legal dissolution of a marital relationship. Now, what is the essence of this divorce? When a divorce takes place in a court of law, the expectation is that the couple will have some kind of amicable resolution. In most cases, people say amicable. They confuse amicable with a long-lasting relationship. Amicable in this sense means that the couple is expected to have some kind of friendliness without so much rancor, so that the children that are involved in this divorce will have a healthy existence. It is not expected that there has to be a romantic coexistence between the couple, but the psychological and mental well-being of the children in this relationship has to be maintained. In most cases, however, the couple after the divorce go through so much fight that they catastrophize what is already a very challenging and chaotic situation. And why do I say so? Let us see what is responsible for this conundrum. In the first case, there has to be the division of property. In most cases, the woman in the relationship is given custody, so she has to keep the children. And because she's keeping the children, she has to keep the house. And a lot of men in this relationship, if they do not have good intentions and they are not happy with the relationship, they start some kind of vindictive moves. In one case, for instance, the husband is supposed to pay child support. Now, he refused to pay child support. Why? Because he said, I'm not going to be paying this woman child support every month because she's going to be using that money to pay her car note for her Mercedes-Benz, or she'll be using the money to pay part of the house mortgage and then be bringing her lovers to the house. There are two things here you have to understand. When you have that resolution in court and you are given the expected outcome saying that you have to pay child support for your children, you are not paying child support to take care of the woman, you are paying child support to take care of your children. Those are your children. And bear in mind, the American government does not care if you and your wife do not love each other anymore. But once there are children involved in this relationship, those children are America's children. And America is going to take care of her children. That is why it is absolutely necessary. Now, what is the expectation? You don't want to pay your child support because you think the woman is going to use the money to pay her car note. Now, what do you expect her to do? Is she supposed to use Uber to take the children to church? Is she supposed to use Uber to take the children to school? What if the kids have to go out for recreation in the weekend, at weekends? It is the same car that she's going to use to do that. And then you talk about, wait a minute, if I give this woman this money, then she can pay for the house and she'll be bringing her lovers there. Listen, people have difficulty moving on after a divorce. When you have a divorce process and the relationship is dissolved, the amicable relationship or the amicable expectation at the end of the process is that you can live your own life normally. You can leave and marry somebody else. The lady has the right to leave and marry somebody else. You can have your own life. You can have your girlfriend. You can have a boyfriend if you want. But the funny thing about it is that, and the actual thing about it is that you have to be able to move on and live your life. It is your expectation, it is your responsibility to take care of your children until they are of age, maybe 18, where you won't have to pay child support anymore. In the challenges of the American system, the American landscape as it currently seems, We have seen these riots, because of the killing of Floyd. You will see that so many children in America need to have the parents, the man and the woman in their lives, not necessarily physically, but that you can spend some time with your children, you can find out what they're doing, you can give them advice on how to live their lives. Those things are the expectations, because if you do this right, you will be helping to maintain the psychological and mental well-being of those children. And that is what the government looks at. You see, so you don't have to be bickering about paying child support for your children. And then the women as well. It is not expected that the man will just begin to languish in horror and think about what he's missing not being with you, or you become jealous that the man is going to come to your house with his girlfriend to pick up his children and take them out. If the man has visitation rights, it does not matter who he comes to the house with. It does not matter how he comes to the house, because now he has his own life, and it is expected that you will have your own life. Now, a lady once told me that that man is not going to come to my house with his girlfriend in his car to pick up my children. There's no way in the world I'm going to let another lady raise my kids. No. If the man has a relationship after the relationship that did not work out with you, it is expected that the man is going to have a woman by his side, and in most cases, the woman has to love the children as much as she loves the man, because the expectation is, if you have a divorce and you are meeting somebody else, you should be able to tell the person, listen, I have 2 or 3 children, and these kids are my life. If you love me, you have to love them. If you cannot love my kids, then you most definitely cannot love me. And then another thing is, you have to be able to move on. There has to be a responsible thing. If you go out with your girlfriend as a man who is out of a relationship, or you go out with your boyfriend as a woman who is out of a relationship, and both of you meet in that social gathering, it is expected that you can say hi to each other and move on. You do not have to fight, because what happens in most cases is that first-generation Africans cannot let go. You have to let go. That is the expectation. That is why the divorces are amicable. And whatever the expectations are from the court, you will have to meet them, because people actually go to jail for not meeting those expectations, especially when the kids are involved. So my advice to my viewers out there is, there is nothing that says that a relationship must last forever. When your relationship fails, life goes on. You must have to live your life to the fullest, because there is nothing that says you cannot love again. It might be your decision not to ever fall in love again, not to ever have a relationship again. But guess what? What makes a man or a woman whole in this life is that they have somebody else out there who can express that intense, intimate, and affectionate feeling to make them happy and live again. Thank you so very much for watching. I hope that you can take something out of this. Check us out on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and on YouTube. I am Dr. Michael Umunna, and I'll see you again when I see you. Thank you.